I've heard a lot of people saying it was the biggest upset in UFC history, and I don't really think it was, to be honest. I mean, Matt Serra GSP was really the biggest upset for me, and I think TJ Dillashaw is a good athlete. He's still an up-and-comer in a lot of people's eyes, but he has all the skills in the world to take and win the belt, which he showed. I wasn't really very surprised about it, and I think he put a great performance together. He's kind of like Barao's kryptonite. You know, he's got the footwork and the speed to really undo his game.
Wow. So did you see it coming? Do you think TJ could really put it off on Saturday night?
I did, yeah. But I mean, that's partly because I've met TJ and I've trained with him a little, and I know how talented he is and how quickly he learns. That was the other thing that surprised me about him. The thing that surprised me most, I tweeted right before the fight to get predictions, and everybody said Barao, without a doubt. There was nobody that thought Dillashaw was going to win.
I think it might be the biggest upset ever, but I think Matt Serra was probably bigger against GSP.
A lot of people have been saying that. Why do you think that is? Why do you think everyone thinks of Matt Serra against GSP as a bigger upset than this?
But that might be because now we know how big GSP is. I think that might be what it is. Thinking even in my head now, GSP's one of the longest reigning champions of all time, all the rest of it, and Matt Serra beat him pretty shockingly, and it was like quick as well. Maybe that's why, because it was first round or second round, Matt Serra?
It was first round.
First round, so it was a lot more of a shock. But TJ, I think the reason people think TJ's a big upset, I think there was a rumour going around that the UFC game, TJ Dillashaw isn't even in it.
No, he's not.
And he's not in it, and he's the world champion, so it probably is the biggest shock. I don't know.
I wasn't shocked. I know TJ. I've seen him fight. He's a tough guy and he's an amazing athlete. So it's dangerous. He works hard. He's a great athlete and has a great wrestling background. So I definitely thought he had a really good chance. I didn't think it'd be that decisive, but I wasn't that surprised. It might be the biggest upset in UFC history. There's some other big ones, of course, that we all remember. But up to date, like modern day UFC right now, I would definitely say, yeah, it's probably the biggest upset to the common fan and to most people. But to me, I didn't think it was that big of an upset. I thought TJ was going to win the whole time.
I'm not shocked that he beat Renan Barao. I mean, anyone could beat anyone on any given day within the UFC. I was just shocked at how impressive he done it. It was like, I think it shocked everyone. I think even his camp probably was shocked at how well he performed. He just kind of, it's one of those ones that everything just clicked. I've heard a lot about how he's been training and stuff like that before. He used to be mainly just a wrestler, grappler, and now he's been working a lot, real hard on his stand-up. And some people are just gifted, and he's picked up really well. And Dwayne's a great coach, and I think Dwayne has a belt system, and when I heard that TJ Dillashaw was a purple belt and Uriah's still a blue, and all these other people are below him, I thought, wow, that says something already. So I wasn't surprised that he beat Renan Barao, but I was surprised at the fashion he done it. He did look amazing. And going back to the question, yeah, to me it was the biggest upset. No, not even upset. Not because they have crazy upset. For me, it was the best performance from an underdog fighter I've ever seen.
That was an amazing fight. I never discounted him. I always thought he had the opportunity to win that fight. I think TJ he's fast, he's very technical, and he's straightforward. Renan Barao is he's strong. He's got all the qualities. He's really big for the weight class. He's got a lot of power, but he's loopy. So I had a feeling that TJ could get to him, straight down the pipe with the speed and the footwork and everything. So. I like TJ. I've known him for a long time, and we were all on our edge of the seat. I was sitting next to the whole alpha male team, and we were all freaking out. It was a cool experience. I think the way he dominated the fight spoke volumes. I think there's been a lot of fights where Serra caught GSP, but TJ went out there and dominated him. I saw him dominating every round, and just with ease. A guy that's undefeated, undisputed champion for so long. So you could put it up there. Just the way it was such a dominant performance on a long-time champion. I was impressed.
Well, I didn't see that coming at all. It was absolutely a big upset. But it was a great fight, and I'm very impressed by TJ.
What impressed you most about him?
All his movements, how he moves, and the way he fought.
Do you think it's a bigger upset than Matt Serra defeating GSP, or do you think that's still the biggest upset?
Well, put them, both on the first place.
Yeah.
Funny story. I actually wasn't able to watch the fight. I was at a wedding for our manager at Power MMA. So, I was thinking maybe the only upset on the card would be Dan Henderson maybe knocking out Daniel Cormier or something. I just figured Renan Barao was a lock. I never even crossed my mind that could be an upset. So when I heard that, I get home and I'm looking it up on MMA Junkie. I think it's in the third round, and he has him winning every round. I was like, oh my God. So I, start following it on MMA Junkie, the up-to-date thing, and see, totally dominated him and then finished him. I was like, oh my God, it blew my mind. That's got to be one of the biggest upsets in MMA history. People are talking about Renan Barao, #1 pound for pound, and here comes TJ Dillashaw, #7, and takes him out. It was awesome. I'm usually the underdog, so to see another underdog go out and pull something off like that, it's an inspiration, and it's awesome. Congrats to him, by the way, and great job, guy.
I just saw a little parts of the fight, but I think no one was expecting me to win, but I want to say the biggest upset.
What do you think is the biggest upset?
Difficult to say, I don't remember that much.
Everyone's been comparing that upset to Matt Serra defeating GSP. So do you think that was a big upset when Serra knocked out GSP?
No, not really. It's a fight, everything can happen, I know. So, which one? And the Silva, Fedor losing, I think, the first one against Nogueira. Yeah.
You think that's the biggest
No,
upset?
against Verdum.
Verdum.
Yeah, because I was more involved with Fedor, so that was more of a shock for me.
Okay.
It's not a shock for me because I'm the guy that actually introduced TJ Dillashaw to MMA, and I actually introduced him to, now Uriah knew a little bit about him, but I called Uriah, I said, hey man, I got a guy here that needs to come up to your gym, and he's going to be great, he's going to be amazing. So I knew when I first laid my eyes on him, coaching collegiate wrestling, that I was like, this kid needs to fight. And I got him in my gym, and the guy was just throwing like haymakers and just taking guys out in my gym, and he was like an unbridled horse. So I knew his competitive spirit. I knew he just had to hone in his skills, and at that time I didn't have a lot of small guys in my gym. I had none but big guys, and I said, for you, it would be in your best interest to go see Uriah. And I just was keeping tabs on him there, and I knew that he would give Barao a really good fight, or he would win. So I just know the competitor that he is, because when I saw him in the wrestling room, it was a fight. Like, he would fight every day in the wrestling room, and it just translates really well to mixed martial arts, his style, and it just proved that night.
Does it make it a bit more special for you, the fact that you were involved in the earlier part of his MMA career, to see him actually go on and win a championship?
Yeah, it is special for me, but it's not about me, it's about him, and I was able to, see a talent and, see it come to fruition, see his goals just be accomplished, and that's what I love, and Uriah's done the same for me. It's full circle, because Uriah got me into mixed martial arts. I got TJ into mixed martial arts, and he's with Uriah. So, Uriah is like a brother from another mother for me, I'm excited for the fact that he is the champ, and he can be a champ for a long time.